Oi, boss, looky here. Some other boys turned themselves a profit. What says we goes turns it towards us?
We found the power stations, boss. Should give us the juice we need to finish her up. And why's you here telling me about it? I told you to find them and to guard them. Even if the humans don't come to take them back, someone else might come nick them. We're supposed to just sit on them power nodes and hope a scrap comes to us? Where's the fun in that? We only need them nodes long enough to finish building Daisy. That is when the fun begins.
How, what have we here? Boss, looks like a fire came to us after all.
What? Well, keep them off the power nodes. Daisy ain't ready yet. I spits on the banner of any other orc. They'll understand who's boss soon enough.
And hey everybody, welcome back to more Dawn of War 2 Retribution. I'm still Negaroth. I have returning guest Daeren here with me.
Hello.
We are actually doing a very, very important optional mission right now. You'll see its importance pretty much near the end, but outside of just being a good way to, get a little bit more war gear, it's also just a good opportunity to blow the shit out of a lot of things.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite mission in the entire game, no matter what race you play it as. The design is actually really good for this. There is always something for you to do, and you honestly feel like you're constantly getting swarmed, which, when you're fighting the Orks, is what you should be doing.
Yeah, between this level and another level that took place on the Space Hulk, where you had to defend a rather broken down Chimera, those both really showed the overwhelming numbers that both like the Tyranid and the Orc can really get across.
Yeah.
I think the game did a good job with like the other races showing their strengths. Like when you fight the Imperial Guard, you had a lot of vehicles come at you. You had a lot of chimeras and
a lot of artillery.
Yeah. And like we haven't really fought Space Marines, which I think that's a bit weird. But the ones we did fight, they mostly came at us with like dreadnoughts, heavy assault troops, things like that. Mm-hmm. And I think with Eldar, you got quite a few Wraith Guards and things like that, stealth.
They were mostly focused on mobility, especially in the Seer Council mission.
Yeah, a lot of teleporting around, banshees yelling at you and screaming. And so, I mean, looking back, they actually do a pretty good job of representing each race very independently of each other. And here, I don't know why, but for some reason, like, Brickfist and the Kap'n could just not get up at all to that turret. I'm trying to get up there, but it's just, I think Kap'n Bloodflag's a big fat ass, so.
He's like, stairs? Not worth the effort.
Yeah, so I ended up trying to call in, like, a wah to get a few extra boys, and they just further congested the situation, so.
Oh, there's a pathing issue. I'll complicate it by adding more boys. This will clearly solve my issues.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the tinier boys would have been able to get up there, but it was really no such luck. And I'm actually going to try to show off one of the newer abilities that I was able to get, which is, I can't remember the name of it offhand, but basically
it's targeting
is
dummy.
It? Okay, yeah, targeting dummy. Yeah. Basically, Spookums will impale he'll basically teleport in an orc boy to impale, who will then scream at everyone nearby and basically like taunt them into fighting this targeting dummy. And basically, like, everything else will just completely ignore you to go beat up this one orc boy, and you just go in there and start wrecking face while they're distracted. It's a good way to, like, centralize a bunch of attacking units into one area that you can then just, like, lay down AoE and, like...
Or hit them with the foot of Gork and have them fly 10 miles.
Yeah, I think I'll be getting a weird boy out later on the level, so I think I should be able to do that. But sadly, even with like the amount of troops they send at you, actually building up a good wall is kind of difficult. They seem like they don't want you to like spam the abilities, because otherwise I would be spamming rocks like constantly. Because I love rocks, just dropping them on everything.
It reminds me of a quote from something, and I remember it specifically because it mentions that there's an orc, a very canny orc named Orkimedes, who found that his solution to Imperial tactical flexibility was to drop a huge amount of rocks on them, and all of their problems would be solved.
Yeah, I was always kind of surprised learning about how much kind of like hidden humor was present in like the older 40K. Like, I know
the Rogue Trader era wasn't even hiding the humor. It was flat out parody of Grim Dark Grim, and then it kind of forgot it was a parody and got into kind of the pose law level of you're not sure if it's being serious or not.
Yeah, like I know a couple people have brought up. I think it was an Inquisitor that was named like Clouseau or something like that.
It was Obi-Wan Clouseau something or another, Sherlock.
Yeah, and I think it's in the Space Marine thread, but somebody posted a picture of him, and he looks like a goon in a trench coat with a gun.
He does. It's like a goon holding a chainsaw.
Yeah, and I think someone else had brought up like the Rainbow Warriors, which was, I guess, a very well-forgotten chapter of Space Marines.
They were actually a Greenpeace joke. They existed to make fun of a ship called the Rainbow Warrior that Greenpeace had, and they showed up in canon and their ships got blown up, and that was pretty much all they did. They were a giant Greenpeace joke that was dropped like a hot rock when the 40K and IP became popular.
Yeah, because I'm sure Greenpeace would kind of be angry about, making fun of them getting, sunk into the ocean.
Yeah. Not to mention, Rainbow Warriors is not exactly a name of battle-hardened genetic monstrosities that would strike fear into many people's hearts.
Yeah, and I mean, really looking at their chapter colors, it's not like they were full-on, like, rainbow painted. It was just...
Yeah, it's like, weren't they gray with a rainbow stripe down the front?
Yeah, something like that. They were something very drab with just a rainbow out of nowhere. And speaking of out of nowhere, where did all these guys come from? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is what I meant when the... Actually, this isn't even to the point where they really start swarming you. This is one of the parts, but it gets worse.
Yeah, this is a good part early on where if you do have, like, available artillery or anything, all the guys... Like, you can get line of sight on them by standing behind the wall here and just, like, bombing the hell out of them. I think I...
Just...
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just bomb the hell out of them with Spookums, because if he doesn't have a rocket launcher, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, I think I ended up teleporting in Mr. Nailbrain to, like, stun them all, and just, like, started to have everyone else just drop in anything they had long range. I probably should have had Brickfist jump in there, but everything probably would have ran out of the way before he even got there. That's I mean, it's an impressive looking ability. I just would say, like, maybe having him come down a little bit sooner would have been helpful, but it's not always the case.
If you get good, you can usually lead your target, or you can kite them into position.
Yeah, I am, I will say I'm a kind of a subpar micromanager. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm not really good with micromanaging. I just learned how with Brickfist, because his abilities are too funny to not learn.
Yeah, between like Mr. Nailbrains has like 8 abilities I try to keep track of, and then,
Yeah, Nailbrain and Spookums, you just pick 1 or 2 that work and go with them.
Yeah, and especially like getting the Mega Rumble upgrade, where basically anything that Spookums does just like rocks the ground. He's basically he keeps everything like stun locked by constantly earthquaking everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not going to... we're actually getting to like the first little objective of the stage, which is steal back what these these bad Moon Tribes guys stole in the first place.
Oh, wow. I think a squad and a half just disappeared.
Yeah, they're coming in nice and thick, and you know, between I think the weird boy's like zap ability, which is just basically chain lightning to everyone nearby, and just a good steady stream of like suppressing fire. They're basically just locked down and then blown up. And thankfully, with I think Spookums with the rocket launcher, any of the few random vehicles that do show up, they just get instantly annihilated.
Yeah, my playstyle usually revolved around giving Mr. Nailbrain a beamy death gun, and then just having him pop high-value targets like popcorn.
Yeah, I think I actually didn't get that many beamy death guns during this campaign. It didn't seem to be one of the more popular pieces of war gear. Like between that and a def gun, there's like next to no def guns in Retribution.
Yeah.
They're kind of just like a more powerful big shooter. So there's not really a reason to have like multiple suppression weapons. So.
Yeah, suppression, honestly, when you're playing the Orks, isn't the greatest thing to focus on, because you can just charge into their suppression units, pop wah, and then murder everything.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this entire objective, outside of giving a good excuse just to blow up, like, a lot of things, you can actually completely ignore it. Like, even if they come and take back the node that you're supposed to be protecting, the mission still continues on. So
I actually did not know.
Yeah, like if they take it back for certain, like they'll drop rocks on it. So yeah, I don't even know what the point was.
Just use the juice.